Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Hi Ella, how are you today?
Good.
Good, all right. Thank you for coming in and doing this first session with me. So how I like to start each session is that we're going to start by gently activating your pelvic floor and the transverse abdominis. And by gently practicing that activation, it also helps to cue your mind to be aware of what those muscles are going to be doing throughout the whole exercise program. And I'll check in with you every now and then just to make sure everything feels okay. But I also like to remind people to check in with how their pelvic floor is feeling and their transverse, so that you can take that knowledge and use it in your day-to-day living, like when you're picking things up around home and playing with the kids, just checking in silently to see how it's all feeling, okay? All right, so first of all, what I'm going to do, you're okay if I touch you? Mm-hmm. Okay, so I want you just to basically spend the next minute just centering yourself, just knees and feet are neither feet are flat, knees are about hip width apart, head centered in line with the midline of your body, shoulders are relaxed, back's nice and neutral, it's not arched and it's not pressing against the floor, and hands are relaxed down by your side, okay? Right. I'm going to roll this up and I'm going to pull these down just so I can place my hands on you and see what I can feel. Okay, so all I'm going to ask you to do is breathe in naturally, breathe out all the way naturally, and gently draw that pelvic floor in and up. By gentle I mean a contraction of only about 5%. And by drawing in and up I mean that feeling when you stop yourself from weeing mid-flow, so you squeeze and tighten. Or imagine you've got a tampon inserted and you need to draw it up a little bit higher. So it's in and up, okay? And again, just gentle contractions and then we will relax. So I'm just going to place my hands down here. Okay, so take a natural breath all the way in. Natural breath out. And then gently draw in that pelvic floor. Good. And relax. And we'll do another one. Natural breath in. Natural breath out, gently draw in that pelvic floor and relax. Okay, now we're going to bring in the transverse abdominis as well. So we're going to do the same thing. Natural breath in, natural breath all the way out, gently draw on that pelvic floor, and then we're going to bring in that transverse abdominis as well. So that is imagining that the underline here is hot and you're drawing that skin away from your low-rise undies very gently. Or imagine there's elastic from hip bone to hip bone and you want to tighten that elastic to pull your hip bones in together. So you're gently drawing those hip bones inwards, okay? All right, so just relax, make sure everything's centered again. Knees are about hip width apart. Shoulders are nice and relaxed, back's nice and neutral. Okay, I'm going to put my hands here again. Take a natural breath in, natural breath all the way out. Draw in that pelvic floor and bring in that skin away from those low-rise undies. Good. Nice and relax. Awesome. Okay, we're going to do that one more time. Okay, natural breath in. Natural breath all the way out. Gently draw in that pelvic floor and draw those low-rise undies away from your skin. Good. And relax. Okay, awesome. Okay. Right, now what we're going to do is we are going to do a core stability exercise and it's called a bird dog, okay? So what I'm going to get you to do is come up onto your hands and knees on the mat, so you're going to be in this position here. Okay, and I'm going to put my hands on you throughout this just so I can feel what your obliques are doing and whether there's any abdominal separation going on. So what I want you to do is you're going to take a breath in, bring your hand and leg off the ground, draw in your pelvic floor and TA, breathe out and come back in. Take a breath in, breathe out, draw in your pelvic floor and TA, and then come back in. Nice, slow and controlled movements, okay? Do you understand what we're doing? Okay, all right. So head up and nice and in line with your spine. Now I'm just going to put my hands under here. Okay, off you go. If you raise the alternate hand and leg, nice, slow, and no, the opposite. Yeah. Good, doesn't have to be high, just as high as you're comfortable. Good, and then back down. And then the other side, nice neutral spine. Okay, and I'm just going to bring my hands under here. Carry on doing that, please. Alright, I feel that there's a little bit too much obliques going on and a little bit of doming. So what we're going to do is to regress that a bit more. Nice neutral spine. We are just going to take one hand off the mat at a time and then put that back down. One hand off and put that back down. Okay, so breathe in, breathe out, take a hand off, bring in your pelvic floor and TA. And I'm just going to put my hands here. Let's have a look. Right, nice, slow and controlled. Much better, good. Now, a few more, and I'm just going to check for doming. Nice, slow and controlled. Fantastic, so much better. Okay, while you're in that position, we're just going to activate your glutes as well. So we're going to be doing some donkey kicks. So we're just going to take a leg up, bring it back down nice and slow, leg up, squeeze the bum, bring it back down nice and slow. And I'm just going to be checking to see what your obliques do in here and if there's any doming. Okay, so nice neutral spine, head up, in line, good. And we want to squeeze those glutes to activate those glutes. Right, off you go. Good. Nice and controlled movements, nice. And I'm just going to check down here for any doming. Okay, one more, fantastic. Right, we've got one more exercise to do before we move on to the actual workout. So if you stand up, it is a row, so just getting your feet on here, and we're just going to come up and squeeze those back muscles together, okay? So we're just trying to activate your back here, so a nice flat back. Right, and I'm just again going to be, I just want to make sure that as you're bending over, you just bend over at the hips a bit. Good, a little bit more, soften those knees, bend those knees a bit, yep. And we want to squeeze in here. I just want to make sure that while you're in that bent over position, you're not doming. And a little bit more. Good, a few more, feels good. Okay, awesome. Right, let's move on to the first exercise that we're going to do, and that is a goblet squat. So I'm going to get you to hold the dumbbell like that, feet about hip width apart, and we're going to squat down, and I'm going to ask you a few questions as we run through that, okay? Alright, so feeling okay for now? Understand what to do? Okay, so if you just go nice and slow and squat. Good, alright. So while you're doing that, I just want to check for any doming. Good, so far, good. Any wrist pain or knee pain? No, okay. And any hip pain or sciatica down the back there? No? Okay. Just at the bottom, can you, when on the next one, when you're at the bottom, can you relax and then gently contract your pelvic floor? Can you try that for me? I know you know I don't. Okay. Were you able to relax and contract your pelvic floor at the bottom? Yeah. Yes, you were? Okay. Right, we'll do a few more. And still no pain in the wrist or anything? Okay, well, one more, no doming. Okay, so what we would do if you did have any wrist pain is we would take the dumbbell away, or any knee pain, we'd probably get you to do a wall sit against the wall instead. If you couldn't relax and contract your pelvic floor at the bottom of the squat, we'd probably start with taking the weight away first. And then if you still found that quite hard, then we would probably regress to a wall sit where you would just sit against the wall. And same with any knee or hip pain, I'd probably move you on to a wall sit, okay? So just please let me know if you do experience any pain in your wrist, your knees, or your hips, or when you start to think that the sensation, the contraction of your pelvic floor has changed, okay? All right, we've got one more exercise to do, and that is the press up. Now, while you're doing the press up, I'm going to just be checking to see if there's any doming and ask you a few questions at the same time, okay? This is our last exercise for the session. Right, are you comfortable doing it? Do you want to go down on your knees and do press ups? Mm-hmm. You want to do full press ups? Okay, that's all right. Okay, so off you go. Start off with your full press up, and I'm just going to be checking. Okay, good. Right, any wrist pain? No. No. Okay. And then just when you're at the bottom of the press up, can you try and relax and then contract your pelvic floor? So when you're in that position, can you let me know in the next rep if you can relax and contract your pelvic floor? So here, were you able just at the bottom there to relax and contract it? No. Okay, awesome. No, that's fine. So what we want to do is I'm going to get you to roll over on your back now, and we're just going to do a chest press instead. So I'm going to put this under and pretend it's dumbbells, right under your back. Yeah. Okay. Hold on to the straps here, and so we're going to come down and press up. Okay, and this is because you couldn't relax and contract your pelvic floor at the bottom. So down, like that, and then up. Yeah, cool. And just imagine that they're dumbbells. Down and up. Fantastic. Okay, one more. Awesome. Okay, great. So, if you were to have experienced any wrist pain or had any doning when we were doing the actual press ups, then we would have regressed to this exercise here with the dumbbell chest press instead. All right, have you got any questions?
No.
No? Okay, thank you.